Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Barbara Aboagye and I create content on studying abroad. In today's episode, I have with me Cosmos Obey. Cosmos has studied in about 5 countries. Let me see. France, Italy, France, Luxembourg, Czech, and the US. Yeah, he has studied in 5 countries in a span of 8 years. So in today's video, he's going to share with us his experience, what he's learned along the road, some tips and basically, okay, I've lost my thoughts. So by basically, he's going to share with us
Okay,
his
thank
journey
you
on
very
studying
much,
abroad. So
Barbara.
Cosmos,
Thank
can
you.
you introduce yourself? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Amma. And I'm Cosmos. I'm from Ghana. I had my education in Ghana, University of Ghana. I
Okay.
studied Bachelor of Science in Administration,
Okay.
and I majored in accounting with a first class honors.
A fresh sharks here.
Yeah. And from there, I worked a little in Ghana after national service, and I took professional exams in accountancy and
Okay.
from the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana. By then, during our time, if you had first class from 2012 onwards, you can apply for their full scholarship for you to study free with Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana. So
Okay,
I
interesting.
didn't pay a CD or a peso or a kobo. I didn't pay anything throughout the journey, and I qualified at the age of 25. I
Wow.
qualified
Okay.
as a chartered accountant, and from there I left Ghana to study in Italy.
Okay.
And before I applied to Italy, I was doing my own research, and I came across University of Calabria.
Okay.
By then, I saw that they have published 100 scholarship in the previous
Right.
year, and most of
Okay.
the students who were on the list were from Liberia.
Okay.
So I took some of the name and I contacted some of the students, and they told me they couldn't travel to Italy because of visas and other things. So I
Okay.
said, okay, the following year, let me try my hands on it. So I called some of my friends. We applied for the school. And by then, too, it was very difficult to pay the application fee.
Okay.
They were having an application fee of 10 euros.
Wow. Okay. Now
So
it's
I sent an
free.
email to them that Ghana is not on the we are not on the list of
Okay.
countries that you can pay the application fee. They said, okay, then they have waivers. So we applied for the school. All the programs that were on their website, they stated that you can study in Italian or you can study in English. So I applied for business administration, and they were saying they can give you tuition in business administration. They can give you tuition in English. So my
Okay.
friend to apply for public administration. But after admission, they gave us a letter that explains to us that we are going to take some of the exams in Italian and we
Wow.
are
Okay.
going to study in English. So after visa and everything, so this helped us to get our visa. So after visa and everything, we went to Italy, and I got to realize that I'm supposed to do everything Italian, and it was very difficult for me. And Gerber, who is also here in US, it was also very difficult for him, but he didn't change anything. He just straight away studied everything in Italian,
Wow.
and he
Okay.
came out with distinction and everything. But I changed my program as soon as I got to Italy.
Okay.
So by then, that we were the first batch that they started with an English program, solely English program.
Wow. That's
That
nice.
was finance and insurance. So we were the
Oh.
first batch that they started with. And so I swapped from business administration to finance and insurance.
Okay.
What one thing I would say is, if someone is applying for finance and insurance at the University of Calabria, if you don't have quantitative oriented background, they are not going to admit you.
Okay.
You cannot, maybe if you have accounting, banking, and finance, and those things, I don't think in terms of the ranking, they are going to rank you first. I
Okay.
I I was able to get the business administration scholarship, and when I went there, I changed. But because my background was in accounting, I struggled a little bit
Okay.
because you have to study statistics, actuarial science, actuarial mathematics, economics, econometrics, and those things. So from Italy, where
No,
the University of
before.
Calabria scholarship. Okay.
Okay, so before you continue, so what was the scholarship package like? So like the good news is that now like they don't require any application fee, so and they are still giving a
Yes.
lot like 150 scholarship for this session, so and the application is still open, so do give it a try. What did the scholarship entail for you before you left Ghana to Italy? What was the scholarship package? Did they cover your flight?
No, the scholarship
Okay,
doesn't cover flight. It
okay,
shows that they are going to cover your boarding. Boarding
mm,
in Italy or University of Calabria, you are supposed to go to the canteen twice in
okay,
a day. So it
okay,
means when it comes to food, you're not going to find yourself wanting. And they are going to give stipend. By the stipend, sometimes it doesn't come on time, or it can come
okay,
at once. It can
okay,
the whole lump sum can come together. And they have other scholarship packages. If you are in the school, like you want to study abroad, you want to
okay.
do this, they have a lot of opportunities at University of Calabria. And I took advantage of all these things, and it's really helped me. And you are not going to pay for tuition fee, because tuition fee, they are going to make you pay for a small, they call it tax.
Yeah,
So when students are applying for the school, they will see they have a tax code, codice fiscale in
yeah.
Italian. We call it codice fiscale. Yeah. So that one, it's like a social security,
Okay.
like in France that we call it. Is it cat visa, right? Cat,
Yeah, yeah.
cat, is it the yellow one, the yellow green one?
I've forgotten really. Is it the
We have forgotten.
yeah, I've forgotten really.
Yes, yeah, okay. It's like that. It's like a task. It's like a social security in
Okay.
Canada or in US. That's how
Card
the
this out.
task
Card
code.
this out.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. So that's how their system is. So I free accommodation, free canteen, and you are given stipend. The stipend sometimes it doesn't come on time, as I'm saying, and
Okay.
the free tuition. Tuition is based on your ability to pay your parental income. That's the
Yeah.
reason why when you are filling the forms, they will ask you to either your income is less than 26,000 euros, this
It's
and
now
this and this.
24,000. Yeah.
24,000, yes. And the grading system in Italy is totally different.
Okay.
For you to pass an exams, you need 18 over 30. The maximum mark is 30, and the maximum, they can be more than 30, like 30 and cum laude. It means that you are above 30, you have distinction from the 30.
Okay.
And so when it comes to graduating too, I can see that some students don't know how to apply for the application, like apply to the school, because the grading system is totally different. The maximum mark in Italy is 110.
Yeah.
But if you have like a first class, when you convert it to Italian standard, it is around 105 to
Okay.
110.
So,
If you
okay.
have second class apply, I think it's around 100 to 104. So it's in that order. So they use all these factors to rank students when they apply for the school. And I know most students apply to University of Calabria. And if your academic background is not good, well, in terms of ranking, a lot of people are applying, because the English programs, they are going to give 150 scholarship for the English programs, and the Italian programs, they are going to give 90. So in all,
Yeah.
it's going to be 240. I only know one student who was a lady who was with a second class lower who got a scholarship for about 4 years ago. From
Okay.
then, I don't know any second class lower who has gotten their scholarship before. Right now, it's very competitive. Last year, I remember the Italian group that I'm in from US of Calabria, they said about 7,000 students applied for their scholarship. So just imagine this academic year. And I've seen so many videos, and
Yeah.
a lot of students are applying it. When you apply to, you can see from the receipt of the application, you can see your number over there. So it means in terms of the number of applicants of
Can't, yeah.
your department, you can be like 500 out of the whole African. So you can watch it out over there. So that's the journey over in Italy. Italy is a nice place to study. And It was very good, good
Okay.
experience.
Okay, so before we move off Italy, you talked about the fact that when you went there, you were able to change your program. Is this for everybody? So when you go with another program, it's possible to change, or is because your case was peculiar because the language was in Italian when they said it was in English?
Yeah, I brought, I approved to them, and I was able to convince, and I was made to apply again when I was in that
Okay,
school. So
okay,
I needed to apply again because I
okay,
was there. I applied to the program, and they accepted us. Yeah, because I
okay,
applied with some of my colleagues who were from Liberia, and we
okay,
were all accepted to pursue the finance and insurance.
okay.
So from Italy,
Yeah.
I came to France. I came to France, and I spent 2 years in France.
Okay.
Clermont-Ferrand. That is it.
How long was your program in Italy?
Italy. The standard program is supposed to be 2 years, but
Okay.
some people finish 3 years, 4 years. So all depends on you. The time that you write the exams, the time you submit your thesis. So all the planning and everything depends on the student. But you have to meet a maximum credit hours before you can maintain your scholarship. It's a must.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
must that you have to meet the maximum credit hours so that you can maintain the scholarship. And from Italy, I moved to University of Clermont-Auvergne in Clermont-Ferrand.
Okay.
And I went there to study MSc Accounting and Finance.
Again, why didn't want to go to Ghana?
Well, in Europe, as we all know, after school, it doesn't mean you have to go back home. You can change your status to look for a job, or
Yeah.
after getting a job, you can change to the working permit. So I moved to France and to
But but
Clermont-Auvergne, University of Clermont-Auvergne.
but why didn't you stay in Italy? If I may ask, why didn't you change to look for a job? Why did you?
Why I wanted to explore a lot of opportunities. I
Okay.
love to explore a lot.
Okay.
I love to study a lot. So
Okay.
every time I love to travel, change environment.
Okay.
Yeah. So from University of Clermont Auvergne, that is I studied accounting and finance. But my previous master's was finance and insurance. So
Okay.
it's more or less related. So the following academic year I went to Aix-Marseille University
Okay.
in Aix-Marseille, SM-Provence.
Okay.
So that place too, I studied business, law, and economics.
Wait, so you did 1 year in Clermont-Ferrand and you moved
Yeah,
to
and
Accent
yeah,
for
second
another
master.
program, so a
Yes,
third master's.
yes, third masters.
Why?
Well, one thing I would say is, normally students don't know that tuition fee in France is quite cheap. Right now,
Yeah.
the French government want to implement the new tuition fees for
Yeah.
international students, but some
It's
of
not
the
right now.
students,
They did it like 2 or 3 years ago, but like some countries haven't
yes, some of the schools
agreed
have
to that.
not
Yeah.
implemented the
Yeah.
policy. For example, I can see my previous institution, Aix-Marseille University, they have not implemented this policy, and
Okay.
most of the schools that I think Grenoble is,
Yeah.
yeah,
Usually they haven't. There are a number of
yes,
universities haven't.
there are
But
number
my
of universities.
so in when you went to the IXM itself, you were paying yourself, or you got a scholarship, or you had to fend for
Well,
yourself.
because I did save when I was in Italy, I was able to
Okay.
survive on it. So
Okay.
uh,
And when
after
you were in
um,
Italy, did you work? Were you doing any part-time
no,
student job?
I
Okay.
I
What?
but there are a lot of opportunities for you to work. Maybe you go on Erasmus internship or
Okay.
something like that.
No,
So
no. What
most
I
of
meant
my
was
friends,
like part-time student jobs. Did you do
well,
any?
there are part-time jobs, by combining it and the kind of environment where I was living is quite difficult to
Oh,
combine.
okay.
But some
Okay.
of the students were doing that.
Okay. Okay.
But before you can do that, you have to make sure that you are proficient in Italian.
Okay. So it
And
was the
Italian
language
language
barrier.
is not difficult to study as compared to French.
Do you speak Italian?
Yes, I speak Italian.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I speak Italian. My Italian is very good than French.
Okay.
So from Aix-Marseille University, that's business law and economics. I started my PhD. That was COVID. season
Okay.
at Thomas Bata University in Czech Republic.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I study my PhD in finance, and
Okay.
my research background is more of digital finance,
Okay.
cryptocurrencies,
Oh, nice. Okay.
central bank digital currencies, and those kind of things. And I'm into financial risk management too.
Okay.
And I studied at the University of Luxembourg, certificate in law and regulation of inclusive finance.
Okay. Was that during your PhD period or before or after?
It was at the initial stage of my PhD.
Okay, so you went to Luxembourg.
Normally this program is for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And if you don't get a scholarship, it's very expensive because you have to pay like 6,000 euros
Okay.
for this program, and they are going to give you everything. But if you get a scholarship, I know most students I recommended this school for, they were able to get a scholarship, and they travel all the way from Ghana to Luxembourg. So it's for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Financed by the European Central Bank, IDA, and they have so many institutions. I think 4 institutions in addition to University of Luxembourg.
Okay.
So
And
I was able to.
No. How did you fund that? You got a scholarship or you had to pay from your pocket?
Well, they subsidized it for us during that time. So previously, people used to pay 6,000. 6,000 for the program, 6,000 euros for the program. But I paid 100 euros for the program.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And it was in person. You had to go to Luxembourg?
Well, it was COVID, so I couldn't go to Luxembourg. And but they gave us all the benefits as someone who is living in Luxembourg, because they are supposed to give you your student's ID card, show you that if you are supposed to be in Luxembourg, you have to enjoy free transport. And you have to provide your insurance, health insurance, before the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will accept you as a student of Luxembourg. So you have to fulfill all these requirements, even though you were not living in Luxembourg. Yes. Yes, that was it was mandatory for everybody around the world if you are studying online or in person in Luxembourg.
Okay.
And so to cut everything short, and let me say I came to US and
let's before we go to the US, let's talk about Czech. So you are doing your PhD. Are you done with the PhD or you are still on it?
I'm not done. I just deferred my PhD. I just stopped midway for 1 or 2 things.
Okay. And how is the Czech educational system like? Did you have to pay? Because I know before they were not paying fees, or the fees were really low. Is it still the same?
Well, Czech, it depends on the school. Okay. Some of the schools, the tuition fees are very low, and some of them charge a lot of tuition fees, and it depends on the program too. But where I schooled, you have to pay for tuition, even though they are going to give you scholarship. It's like give and take. They are giving it to you, and you have to use some of the money to pay, and you have to do a lot of research.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the PhD, you got a scholarship for that to study in Czech?
Yes, for the PhD, I got a scholarship, and by then it was quite okay.
Okay.
But during the second year, the scholarship is you have to work hard, write a lot of papers for you to maintain or get some additional scholarships.
Okay.
So they have a lot of opportunities. A lot of Ghanaian students study in Czech Republic because that is a country with a low cost of living in Europe, and they have a lot of jobs over there.
Okay.
So if you are an international student, you can get a big job, English job. It doesn't mean you have to speak Czech language.
Okay.
I know a lot of people that They don't have. I didn't have any Czech language, but I can't say anything in Czech apart from hello, hi, thank you in
Yeah.
Czech. Yeah. So from there, I moved to US and US to pursue other things here.
Okay. When you say other things, is it related to school or not related to
It is
school?
related to school. I'm pursuing information systems and
Okay.
data analytics, and because I needed to get some fair knowledge in the research that I was doing in Czech
Okay.
Republic, the digital finance, and because of that, I needed to study programming and this kind of
Okay.
things. So I needed to um, develop my skills here
Okay.
too, and that's the reason why I said I used to travel a lot. I love traveling. I love exploring other opportunities. Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. It looks like you've been to so many places. So which one is your favorite and why?
Well, I can say I have a favorite, but
Okay.
US gives a lot of opportunities.
Like how? When you say
Uh,
opportunities, what do you mean by that?
well, opportunities in the sense that they promote STEM education.
Okay.
Uh, if you have a STEM background, and the US gives a lot of scholarships. If you
Okay.
apply for US schools, you try to search for scholarship, graduate assistantship, try all these opportunities. You are going to get it, and I tried, and I was able to get some. So that there are a
Okay.
lot of opportunities, and I would say students should not put all their eggs in one
In
basket.
basket.
When they apply for school, yes, when they apply for school and it doesn't go well or they don't get funding, they should try other schools. Because when you try, like, I know people can apply for about 30 schools. Right now, there are more application fee waivers out there. They should take advantage when you see someone's post on Facebook, on LinkedIn, anywhere you can take advantage of that and try to contact the coordinators when you contact them to ask for career assistantship or teaching assistantship. Because it's one of the countries that you can find a lot of scholarship opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still doing another master's in the US?
Well, that's the reason why I told you it is coded. It is coded, but I'm doing something related to information systems
Okay, that's
and
okay.
business analytics.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that my PhD. You got someone Google my name on Google Scholar. You can see my name over there as someone who researches into digital finance,
Okay.
financial risk management, so anything related to. So I love sometimes on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. I like posting courses related to STEM programs. I'm not
Okay.
here to discourage others who are into non-STEM. There are a lot of opportunities for
Yeah.
non-STEM students too. Yeah.
Okay.
For
Okay.
example, if you are uh, here in US, if you are a STEM student and you complete the OPT, that is the number of years that you can search for job, the length that immigration will give you. Every student is entitled to 1 year,
Okay.
but you can extend it for 2 years, additional 2 years if you are on a STEM program. But
Okay.
if you are on a non-STEM program, you can extend it for only 1 year.
Okay.
So my advice is students shouldn't put all their eggs in
X
one
in one
basket.
basket.
They should try all options in a
Okay.
legal way.
Okay. So,
And
cause, cause, no, no,
you
finish.
don't need to fake any other thing. Be yourself. Do everything. Do your CV right. Last time I told some students to send me their CVs. I saw that some people have put their date of birth, their place of birth, their marital status, their nationality. All these things are not needed. They should remove all these
I
things
don't
from their
agree with you
CVs.
on that. I don't agree with you on that, Cosmos. For that, it depends on the country you're applying to. In Europe,
Okay.
like it's very like your date of birth and your date of birth is important on your CV for Europe, but like in North America, this is not the standard. So with that, it's very important that whichever country you're applying to, you look at the standard in which they are
The
looking
standard,
for.
okay.
Yeah, because in Europe, they need your picture so that they'll decide if they'll take you or
Yeah.
not. But yeah, but in North America, this is not necessary. So for that, it's very important that
Okay.
you consider the country you're applying to. So Cosmo, this was a really great session. I like the fact that the way you took me around the whole world with your educational experience. And Cosmos also has on his social media, he also shares a lot of scholarships. He uses the name Cosmos Obeng,
Yeah.
so you should like if you're looking for scholarships or you're looking
And
to study
on
abroad.
Facebook too, the name is I am Cosmos, we are Cosmos.
Okay.
And a lot of followers too on Facebook.
Okay, so you can just search and join if you are looking for scholarship. So Cosmos, the final word. So if somebody wants to study abroad, what would you tell the person?
Well, I've realized that most students, their academic background wasn't good, and still they are still searching for scholarship. If you don't get a scholarship, there are so many countries that they have low tuition fees. Okay, for example, Austria, Belgium, Germany, France,
France?
Italy. If you don't get a scholarship and you know your academic background is not good, like your GPA is not strong, you can take advantage because there are some, as I told you, my tuition fee for 2 masters in France, well, it wasn't even up to 700 euros
Euros, yeah.
for 2 masters. So if you compare this to Ghana, that people are in Nigeria, in Africa, in Southeast Asia, people are paying a lot of money to study in their home countries. It's very good to take advantage and use that to study abroad. And moreover, do not put all your eggs in one basket. Try all countries. And when you sit down and you analyze the costs and benefits for the respective country, then you make a choice. That's what I have for students.
Thank you. And just to add up to what he said, maybe you want to go to the US and your plan is not going through. Just go somewhere else. Like the way Cosmo started from Italy and right now he's in the US. So once you get the international exposure, it's really easy to move around everywhere in the world. Because even if you're in France and you request for a US visa, you can get like 10 years. It's like once you move out of your home country, the world is your oyster. You can go anywhere you want to go, and you should be willing to do the work. Nobody's going to do the work for you. You will
Like
just
for
prefer.
instance,
Okay.
okay, I want to add it up
Yeah.
to what you said.
Yeah.
For instance, when I was moving from Italy to France, I don't needed to prove any much financial statement or those things. And from France to Czech Republic, I didn't really show any financial statements. You see, so things are so easy moving from one place to another. So you have to take advantage, take a step. It doesn't mean you have to start. You can start from somewhere and end where your final destination. That's the reason why I started from Italy, France, Czech Republic, Luxembourg, and I ended it in US. So that's my advice for students.
Thank you. So we are going to end the session, but before I realized that most of the countries you studied in, apart from the US, were non-English speaking countries. How difficult was it to integrate into the system, or that was not even a problem?
Well, it's not a problem. You have to, if you want to, wherever you want to live, and if you have tuned your mind that you want to live there, you have to learn the language.
Okay.
For example, I was able to learn Italian very well, but my French is not all that good, but I can communicate. But I check.
Should I start?
Yeah,
Should you start something small? That's you? Okay, d'accord.
Oui, madame. Okay, so what I would tell students is if you want to integrate, learn the language. If you are in France, That's the reason why they say if you are in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Romans do. Exactly.
Yes, so if you are in Rome, you have to try to learn their language. If you are in France, you have to learn the language before even you can get a job. You can speak English right, but you are competing with maybe someone who can speak English and French.
French. Yeah.
So you have to take a foreign language to add it to your CV. That one too is going to help you.
Okay. So, Cosmos, I'd like to say thank you for agreeing to do this session.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and thank you for whatever that you do, because I follow your channel.
That's nice. Thank you.
The one that you said about the University of Calabria process, I really love the content that you presented, because what I realized is most students, most content creators leave some of the things out. For example, if you apply for schools in Italy and you don't add your English proficiency to it, they are going to reject you. But it's only University of Calabria that I've realized that they are just liberal when it comes to these things. It's not all that mandatory for a lot of students. But the other two schools in Italy, if you leave that thing out, that's the reason why a lot of students get rejections in Italy. So thank you very much.
Thanks for bringing. You're welcome. Okay. So if you've watched to the end, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, that's a great time to subscribe, like, comment, share, and to hear from me again.
Bye.